Hello and welcome to Creator Weekly for April 20th, 2025. Happy Easter if you celebrate. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. It's nice and sunny here. It's a great way to feel like it's spring. This week I have updates for YouTube, Twitch, Medium, WordPress, Patreon, a whole bunch of things. And so let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to mention is something that you can try. The Creator Insider channel shared a link to sign up for YouTube user research. So this is something where you maybe get to try out something experimental. You get to give feedback. It means that you have input into developing YouTube. They are especially looking for, YouTube creators. They are interested in generative AI feature testing. They especially want people who make short form videos on their phone, podcasters, live streamers, and YouTube shopping affiliates. So especially if you've fallen into any of those categories, you should definitely check it out and help YouTube develop. There is a link on the Creator Insider channel on their most recent news flash, or this week's newsletter and blog post also has a link. So check that out. And I want to first talk about dubbing. The top YouTube update for this week is that they rolled out automatic dubbing into different languages to all channels that are in the YouTube Partner Program. So if your video is in English, it can be automatically dubbed into French, German, Hindi, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Brazilian Portuguese, and Spanish. And then from any of those languages into English. So it's back and forth between English. You can't dub between Japanese and Spanish or anything like that, at least not yet. So it's very interesting. I have it enabled on my channel. If you want to enable it for your channel or see if you have this feature, go into YouTube Studio on desktop, open the settings, and go to the channel upload defaults. You can choose whether to review the dubs before they're published or not. I don't know how much use it is to review dubs if you don't actually speak the language, so I'm not reviewing anything. And I'll note that this only applies to videos that are uploaded after you enable this setting. So it's not dubbing the back catalog of videos. It's only new videos, and it doesn't dub live stream archives, at least not that I can tell, which is too bad. So if you have this enabled, you just click the Languages button on the left menu in YouTube Studio on desktop, and it will show you the status of dubbing of your video. It uses the auto-generated subtitles, so you may see a notice if those haven't been generated yet. And sometimes it will show that the video is ineligible for some reason. There's a lot of caveats to this. It's not good at jargon, proper nouns. If you have an accent it can't understand, it may not dub things correctly. So this is still kind of experimental. If you are a viewer, you can switch to the dubbed language. If it's a regular video, click the gear icon. If you are using your phone with the Shorts feed, click the three-dot menu icon at the top, and then select the audio track setting, and you can switch languages. If you want to hear what my dubbed videos sound like, the last couple shorts I made are dubbed, and it's really weird. Excuse Excuse me a moment. It is very strange. I don't think it sounds like my voice at all, and I don't understand the languages, so I don't know how good they are, but definitely check it out and let me know what you think. This is the future, and I assume that eventually YouTube will want to roll this out to everyone just because they have, for example, automatic translation of captions that's available to everyone. But again, it's experimental and it's limited to those languages I mentioned. I want to say hello to everyone in the live chat. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hello, Craig and Andrew and Jolyn and Nina. It's great to see you and have you spend part of your holiday day here with me. I really appreciate that. So, a few more updates. So the next thing that I wanted to mention is an update to the YouTube community guidelines. This will begin age restricting scripted content with excessive violence, specifically human actors and scenes that focus on torture or killing those actors with blood. This is partially to protect younger viewers, it says, but YouTube also notes that this is in line with how mature content is defined in the television and film industry. So this is partially to protect youth from the violence, but also to get YouTube more in the industry. We're seeing YouTube more on TV and competing with Hollywood. So this may be part of the alignment with that. Now, I think all of you here in the live chat are older than 18, so this probably does not affect you, but anyone under 18 won't be able to watch these videos. And YouTube and Google does check that. You have to be signed into an account. So the next thing I wanted to talk about,
your specific question, but according to Huntington.com, ready to cash it.
That is the problem with having a Google Nest device in here. Sometimes I seem to trigger that. Crazy talk, like a ghost. So the other YouTube update I wanted to talk about is an update to gifts. Now, gifts is a way to monetize vertical live streams. Currently, viewers in the US can give the live streamer a gift. They purchase the gift with jewels, and you pay real money to buy jewels. So you buy a bunch of jewels, and then you can use the jewels to buy gifts to give to vertical live streamers. And they just launched what they call gift combos. So this static image doesn't really do it justice. There's sort of an animated thing that says, oh, you know, you've done a combo. That's buying the same gift multiple times. All the viewers of the live stream will see there's a combo happening, and it's supposed to spark engagement and maybe have people buy more gifts. TikTok apparently has a similar kind of feature where you can give a gift box with multiple gifts. I don't know. The only time I've tried vertical live streaming, I didn't get any gifts. Oh, so sad. But this is supposed to be a good update. And also they announced that there's Easter-themed gifts. So there are holiday-specific gifts you can give people. If you do vertical live streaming and you have monetization enabled and you have viewers in the US, maybe you'll get an Easter basket. I'm not sure how long the seasonal gifts are actually available. I assume they rotate those pretty frequently. So I want to shift over to Twitch. If you remember, Twitch announced that there was a 100-hour limit for stored highlights. And the deadline to save or export the highlights was April 19th, yesterday. It's one of those things where Twitch says this doesn't affect the vast majority of streamers, but there are certain live streaming communities that used highlights a lot. So some users had like thousands of hours worth of highlights. That's obviously a lot to try and archive or to export to YouTube or do something else with. And so Twitch granted streamers a 1-month reprieve, giving an extension to the deadline till May 19th. They say they improved the download speeds, improved exports. You can better select videos in bulk now to choose to download or delete them. So hopefully giving people an extra month will let them handle all their highlights videos. There was talk that they would probably give an extension. 1 month, hopefully long enough for people. And this is just part of a trend I'm seeing where more platforms are saying they don't want to store your content, store your files for long periods of time. You know, as it accumulates, it's probably a lot. So it's interesting that YouTube doesn't do this at all. There's no limit. You can upload as many videos as you want, 4K videos, gigabytes. Hopefully that doesn't change. All right, I'm checking the chat here, and Andrew says, oh, this is referring to the violent videos. Let our love be a flame, not an ember. Say it's me that you want to dismember. Is that from something? Because that's twisted. That would get age restricted, I'm sure. So the other update, video-wise, I want to talk about is Patreon announced that they are adding live streaming. This seems to be the trend. You can live stream on Substack or LinkedIn or basically every platform now. It seems like you can live stream. They said it will be both mobile and desktop live streaming, and there's live chat, moderation controls, all the things that you expect. This is early access right now, so not many creators have this feature yet, and it will roll out more broadly this summer. Seems like a pretty good fit with Patreon, where you have patrons, you're building a direct community with people and your fans. And this is a good way to communicate. I will say it's a very interesting choice of Patreon to show this mock-up of a live stream that's someone doing a DJ set, because that's the kind of live stream that's extremely hard to do on YouTube or Twitch because of music licensing issues. So when you are playing popular music, you can be a claim and actually have your live stream shut down. Over on Twitch, they have a special DJ program, but you have to select music from their license list, and there's a bunch of limitations. So does this mean that Patreon is not going to be blocking some of the kinds of live streams that get blocked on the bigger platforms? That will be interesting to see as well. And then over on Instagram, they launched something called Blends. And I don't, this feature is not for me, but basically if you're DMing someone, direct messaging someone on Instagram, you can click the Blends button and it generates a feed of reels that are recommendations to everyone who is in this discussion blend. they say, oh, the young people, Gen Z, they love sharing things, sharing videos, sharing memes. This is supposed to facilitate that. Personally, though, I don't want to see a bunch of videos that are recommended to somebody else because they are recommended to someone else and it's not my interests. I love it when people share videos with me that they see it's funny, interesting, whatever. But I don't want to see their whole recommended feed. So it'll be interesting to see if this is something that actually works out for Instagram or if they're just not understanding the youngs. Oh, I see. Andrew says that quote was from Tom Lehrer. I should have known. He's very funny. So I want to switch now to blogging. And really give a thumbs up to this article posted by Tony Stubblebine, who is the CEO of Medium. Medium is a blogging platform that has a bunch of social features. He published an article explaining why diversity is important to the platform and their business and their operating principle, which is humans first. I like that. So this doesn't mince words at all. He wrote, as some companies dismantle their programs and walk back their commitments, we'd like to state our stance clearly. Medium stands firm in our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Doesn't get any clearer than that. He also wrote, yes, we try to create a space for people with diverse experiences and backgrounds to share their stories. And also, yes, these stories make the lives of every single reader and writer here richer. And he noted, we see this as our competitive advantage and a way we raise the bar for our business. So diversity, it's good for readers, it's good for their platform, it's good for their business. I think it's interesting. Last year, I believe, Medium became profitable. So Tony Stubblebine has really turned it around. It was kind of bleeding money before. And this seems to be successful. So thumbs up to diversity. I will also mention briefly that the latest version of WordPress has been released. If you manage your own WordPress installation, you may want to update your site. This is version 6.8 Cecil. I don't know how to pronounce it. They're all named after jazz performers because that's what Matt Mullenweg likes. It's a thing. I'm going to just really, really quickly go through what they announced for the features. None of them were like totally earth-shaking to me, but I'm not using WordPress every day. They updated the style book. That's to update things like the color and typography fonts on your site. They improved the editor. Pages load faster. That's always a good thing. And I think maybe the most important thing is they have stronger password security, so your site is less likely to have hijacking problems. That in and of itself is a reason to install the update. So I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. Over on Bluesky, they say they're taking action against abusive lists and starter packs, and note that these can be used for harassment. So you can follow a list and get a feed of posts from that list, or you can follow all the people in a starter pack. Some people are using that, though, in an abusive way. They said if a list or starter pack is found to be abusive, it will be hidden inside the Bluesky app. The creator can still see it, people can still subscribe to it, it just won't be that visible. So what is abuse? They said it includes insulting, profanity, slurs, abusive terms, or unproven allegations. I think there is a way of harassing people. It's like, you make a list. It's like, these are ultra criminals, and then people can use that for blocking. So yeah, I don't know if it will help, but it's always going to be an issue. Spammers, harassers, they're always the ones to use all the features of a platform. I also wanted to mention another Bluesky adjacent update. There is a platform. Why is the slide not updated? There we go. There is a platform called Graze, like, a cow is grazing in the meadow, and they help people build feeds. These are tools for people who want to have more popular feeds. And then, as I mentioned, you can follow those feeds. What they have introduced is advertising. And I know you're thinking, who wants ads? But this is a way for people to monetize their feeds. These ads are a little bit different than what you have on like Facebook, because the advertisers are not getting user information, and the ads are not being placed by the main platform itself. Bluesky isn't placing the ads. They're not getting a cut of ad revenue. So it's supposed to be less disruptive. Also, the owners of the lists can decide what kind of advertisers and ads are allowed and how often people see ads. And the idea is it's sort of self-limiting, because if there are too many ads, people will stop following the list. I think it's an interesting experiment, and maybe this is a less intrusive way to have advertising and let people monetize some of their work. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that CapCut Commerce Pro, that's the version of the CapCut video editor aimed at marketers, businesses, e-commerce, that kind of thing, is now called Pippit. So CapCut Commerce Pro is Pippit. And this may be partially to distinguish it from CapCut Pro. That's a pro subscription for using the CapCut video editor, but it's actually different features than the CapCut Commerce Pro, Pippit. Of course, the big thing that they're talking about is their AI tools. And they say that you use the Pippit Smart Agent to turn images and web pages into engaging marketing videos instantly. And you can have digital avatars based on real people, all generative AI. I'm not sure this is necessarily a good thing for those of us who view marketing things, but it's the way of the future. So if you sell things through videos, this is definitely worth checking out. Of course, it's a paid subscription. There's a free trial, but maybe it has the tools that you need. So, of course, a quick mention about what was happening 10 years ago this week. 10 years ago this week, Facebook was adjusting the balance between content from friends and from pages. They had asked people to rate their feeds and give feedback, and then this was an update to try and address some of the concerns people raised when they were giving feedback. So one of the things that people were concerned about is missing content from their friends and family, because there were so many other things in the feed. So Facebook said they were adjusting the news feed to make it so that content from friends and family is higher in the feed. That includes things like status updates, links, videos, that kind of thing. People also said they were not interested in seeing stories about their friends and family liking some post or commenting on some post. So those kinds of notices, stories, were pushed lower in the feed. And of course, when Facebook did this, creators, businesses, organizations, they were concerned that their posts from pages then wouldn't be seen. So there is this real kind of struggle to balance. And of course, Facebook said, well, maybe this will affect your page, maybe it won't. It depends on your audience. It depends on what you post, how often you post, which is not particularly helpful. And over the past 10 years, trying to adjust this balance of what's in the newsfeed is something that Facebook has been frequently tweaking and changing. In 2022, you can see in this image here, in 2022, they added buttons, show more, show less. I think those are interested, not interested now. So people can give direct feedback and it tweaks their feed. So, you know, they want people to hang around on Facebook. And I think this is especially notable. It's especially notable in light of Facebook announcing less than a month ago that they want to bring the magic back and bring back OG Facebook experiences, starting with a new updated Friends tab. So you go into your account and there's the news feed, and now there's a Friends tab that is just content from your friends, including stories, reels, posts, birthdays, friend requests. And maybe that's the solution, that you have separate feeds for your friends and for everything else. I think it's also interesting that in the ongoing antitrust trial against Meta, the FTC says that Meta has a monopoly on social sites connecting with friends and family, and they want to break up the monopoly. But Mark Zuckerberg says, well, actually, we've moved away from friends and family. It is a broad discovery entertainment space now. So again, I think that's true. I think a lot of people do go on Facebook for content other than just friends and family. But with the new family feed, new friends feed, I should say, they're still trying to adjust this balance. And truthfully, I think that Facebook is going to do anything that maximizes the amount of time people spend on the platform. So I expect to see this tweaked continuously as they try and find the right balance. I'm not sure it's possible because everyone wants something a little different. So that's what's happening this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Immediately after today's live stream, they have the On eBoard live stream. It's a special Earth Day edition. So I hope you can join us over there. We're going to be talking more about butterflies and flowers than about tech, but it seems appropriate for the season. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all next Sunday.